everyone, welcome back to Storytime with me. Have you guys seen a ballet, go see a ballet play? And during the Christmas, they have this play called the Nutcracker. If y'all never see that, highly recommend you see, because I think I saw this when I was a kid. I just can't remember when exactly. But today's Storytime video is going to be Barbie in the Nutcracker. I was 9 years old when this came out, and I highly recommend this. So today's story is going to be Barbie in the Nutcracker. To all you Barbie fans out there. So without further ado, let's get on to this story. And looking here are the characters that we're going to see in this, including. So these are the characters right there who we're going to see. Okay. One Christmas Eve a long time ago, a girl named Clara received a special present from her favorite aunt, a fine wooden nutcracker. "Thank you, Auntie," Clara cried. "He's wonderful." But just a short time later, Clara's jealous brother Tommy yanked the nutcracker's arm, caused it to snap. See, there's Clara getting the nutcracker from her favorite aunt. And there's her brother Tom. You should never take anything from people because you can destroy things that are very valuable. That night, Clara tiptoed downstairs and carefully bandaged the nutcracker's arm. She soon drifted to sleep on the soft parlor sofa. As she dreamed, the clock began to strike midnight. Boing, boing, boing. Sparkling mist poured from a tiny knothole in the clock. Boing, boing, boing. An army of mice swarmed into the room. See, look, there's Clara sound asleep with a nutcracker, and there's the clock striking midnight. And look, here comes the mice with the mouse king. Yeah. Well, boing, boing, boing. The nutcracker's eyes snapped open. He jumped and raised his sword. Okay, boing, boing, boing. Midnight. Clara's eyes fluttered open. She gasped at what she saw. There beneath her Christmas tree raged a battle between the nutcracker and the mice. You see, look, there's a nutcracker getting ready to take on the mice, including the mouse king right here. Clara tried to help, but the mouse king cast a spell, and Clara began to shrink until she was as small as the nutcracker. "Only the sugar plum princess can undo the spell," the nutcracker told her. "I've been searching for the princess ever since the mouse king turned me into a nutcracker." Just then, an owl gave Clara a shiny locket. "When you find the sugar plum princess," he explained, "open the locket and you will return home to your normal size." See, look. There's a mouse king casting a spell on Clara. So I wonder what's gonna happen. Together, Clara and the nutcracker went in search of the sugar plum princess through the knothole in the clock, then down a sparkling tunnel that led to a magical land. Snowflakes glittered, but it wasn't even cold. Suddenly, she was surrounded by tiny dancing critters. "Snow fairies," the nutcracker said. See, look, that's these little critters. That's all these fairies right there, and there's Clara dancing with them. She must be a really good dancer, if I do say so myself. Traveling on, Clara and the nutcracker discovered a magical horse named Marzipan in a ruined gingerbread village. Riding a marzipan sleigh amid the broken cottages, Clara spied a tiny doll on the ground. "Is this doll yours?" Clara asked the girl dressed in peppermint stripes. The peppermint girl nodded. "Who did this?" Nutcracker asked her brother, the gingerbread boy. "The Mouse King's army," they answered. Yeah, look at the village. Wow. And look, there's Marzipan, the horse. And there's Clara giving the girl back her doll with the gingerbread boy right there. Yep. "And here they come!" yelled the children. Marzipan raced away for safety, leaving Clara and her friends to run from the evil mice. Suddenly, a ladder unfurled from a tree above. Racing up the ladder, they met their rescuers, Major Mint and Cologne Candy. Let us help you find the Sugar Plum Princess, said Major Mint. See? And there goes the... And here come the mice, look. And there they are climbing up the ladder. There's Cologne K and Major Mint. Looks like good thing they came to the rescue just in time otherwise. Then, meanwhile, inside the Palace of Sweets, the Mouse King sat surrounded by subjects. He turned into stone, frowning. He listened, and as Pim the Bat told him the news, Clara and the Nutcracker were looking for the Sugar Plum Princess. The Mouse King's eyes glittered. I have a plan to stop them, he sneered. See, look. So look, they're all, everyone's in stone, and there's the Mouse King. There's Pim the Bat telling him so what devious plan the Mouse King is up to? So let's find out, see what happens. Back in the forest, Clara and the Nutcracker searched for food and water for their journey. When the Nutcracker uncovered that dozens of flower fairies escaped. The fairies who'd been trapped by the evil mice danced to thank the Nutcracker for setting them free. Filled with delight, Clara joined the fairies' fun. See, and there they are. There's all the flower fairies right there. There's Clara the Nutcracker joining them in. And that must be a very magical place. Suddenly, the ground began shaking. The Mouse King had sent a rock giant to attack. The air filled with snow. No, not snow, the snow fairies. They blew on the nearby lake, turning it to ice, and Marzipan galloped back too. Hurry to the sleigh, Clara cried. And the Nutcracker cracked the ice with his sword. The rock giant crashed into the dark, icy water. See, and look. See, everyone's in the sleigh, and there goes the Nutcracker and cracking the ice, and there goes the rock giant inside the water. Because rocks are too heavy, so... The group traveled on into a thick, dark fog. Soon, the mist, they spotted an island of silver and gold and a palace that glistened like pearls. The Sugar Plum Palace, Major Mint cried, and he led them inside into the castle. But suddenly, the castle melted away. Clara saw that it was a trick. Her friends were trapped in a huge cage. She watched in horror as great bats unfolded their wings and carried her friends away. See, look, there's Clara and there's Clara looking at the seeing the Major Mint and Clone Candy and the Nutcracker being taken away by bats. So I wonder what's gonna happen. Clara came upon with a plan. It's up to me to save my friends, she said. She turned to the tiny flowers who had gathered around her. Can you take me to the Palace of Sweets? The crocus fairies chirped, and suddenly hundreds of flower fairies appeared. They braided vines into a swing and tucked into a cushion of soft green moss. Hold on tightly, they told Clara, and they whisked her off into the sky. See, there she goes, like, and there they go, like riding across the sky, and there's the Castle of Sweets there. So I hope Clara's going to be able to make it in time to rescue her friends. When Clara reached the castle, she sneaked inside and saved her friends. The Mouse King was angered by their escape. He called to his soldiers and aimed his magic scepter, but the Nutcracker raised his sword, and the blade reflected the evil magic back at the Mouse King, and he began to shrink and shrink and shrink. See, look. See, there's the Nutcracker holding the sword, and there's the Mouse King shrinking down to size, and they're like, "Oh no, Your Majesty!" Uh-oh. Good thing the Nutcracker stopped him just in time. As Clara gently kissed the Nutcracker, a golden mist swirled around them, and the Nutcracker turned into Prince Eric. Clara's simple nightgown transformed into a satin gown, and a golden crown appeared on her head. All around them, the stone statues turned back into people and fairies. "You are the Sugar Plum Princess," Prince Eric told an astonished Clara, "and you have broken the Mouse King's evil enchantments." And see, look, Clara is the Sugar Plum Princess with a very pretty gown, and there is Prince Eric with the spell broken. And look, there's all the people breaking the spell from the spells. So you had to be very brave in order to do that. The fairies transformed the palace with magic. Everyone celebrated with then bowed at the prince was crowned king. Will you stay and become a queen? King Eric asked Clara. Clara grasped the locket around her neck. This was supposed to take me home, but in my heart, I feel like I'm already there. The teeny tiny mouse king was not finished with his mischief, however. Pim the bat swooped down and stole Clara's locket and handed it to the mouse king. As he opened it, Clara began to fade away. See? And those two, there they are dancing away. And look, there's the mouse king opening up the locket. And there's everyone else celebrating with them. So let's see what happens. When Clara woke, it was Christmas morning. She was back home in the parlor without her locket, and the nutcracker had disappeared. She was so sad. She didn't even care that she had to wait for her favorite aunt to arrive before they could open presents. Later that evening, her aunt finally arrived, but with a friend. "I'd like you to meet Eric," she said with a smile. Clara gasped. "It's you, isn't it?" she whispered. Eric smiled and slipped something into the palm of her hand. "Her missing locket. May I have this next dance?" he asked. As they danced, Clara felt as if they were the king and queen of their own fairy tale castle. See, there they are. Look, there is her locket that he found. Yep, that is so neat. Yep, and here they are in this, and there they are in the snow globe. So yeah, I highly recommend getting this book and seeing the play. I highly recommend. If you've never read this book, I highly recommend it. So hope you enjoyed today's story. Bye, everyone.